Welcome back to this week's episode of the Rock Solid Sports Podcast. Today's Thursday, March 27th, and this might be one of the best days of sports ever.
Yeah, no, everything's starting to come back to us. But, I mean, there's already been some negatives today. So, I mean, but, you know, here we go.
Opening day, Sweet 16, NBA, NHL, all at once. It doesn't get much better than this. Let's talk about it. Let's go.
We gonna make it, baby.
Welcome back to this week's episode. We are brought to you by Slove. As always, go check them out. They have a new drop. Go order. Check them out on Instagram at sluv.co. That is sluv.co. Or on their website at sluv.us. That is sluv.us. Go check them out. I think we should get started on March Madness first because it did come first. I think we should start in the Colorado State game. We'll talk about a couple games, but mostly for Christian's sake, let's talk about the Colorado State game. Maryland, I think they were 4 seed, still in there. They'll be in the Sweet 16 this weekend. We are taping this during opening day of the Dodgers game and Alabama BYU the Sweet 16. So there's a lot going on while we're doing this. But Maryland CSU might have been the only madness of March Madness so far.
Yeah, no, and I mean, just as much as it gave it to us, it ripped it away as well. We had our Cinderella team. That was going to be them. That was going to have to be Colorado State because nobody else was still hanging around because they were what seed were they? 12.
Yeah.
That was like the fact that a 12 seed's our Cinderella team is rough, but it got so close and then the last second shot just kind of ended it there. But yeah, no, not really any madness going on this March Madness. Like it's very just kind of bland. Like even like. I guess you could say Arkansas is at 10, but then they have one of the best college basketball coaches of all time.
real
roster,
gritty coach Cal team.
It's like kind of whatever. But yeah, it's been very all right,
which is fine. I think we've been kind of spoiled the last few years of we've gotten those 15 seeds, those 16 seeds, the St. Peter's. There's a couple more. I'm blanking. I know there was more, but we had that one Elite Eight where we had like San Diego State that was like an 8 seed.
It was like 2 years ago.
Yeah, there was like a 6 seed in there, like a 5 seed. But now, I mean, I think we've gotten back to like a normal basis, which I think is okay. And people were complaining. I mean, yeah, where's the madness? Where's the madness? And then the second they do get the madness, they want to complain about it. Oh, it was travel. Yeah. I mean, you got to just let the things play out. You can't make that travel call at that last second. But I mean, shout out to Colorado State. That was awesome to watch. There was a couple good games. I mean, I think the best part I've seen so far is that the 1 and 2 seeds have just proved that they are the 1 and 2 seeds.
Yeah.
Besides St. John losing to a gritty Arkansas team. But yeah, I mean, that's been my favorite part. Seeing how just dominant Duke's been. I think as much as I hate Duke, I mean, it's just like a good reminder of how we've missed like good college basketball teams. It's been a while. And a lot of people are complaining about, the transfer portal, the NIL, how that's stopping all this madness. But, I mean, I don't know what to tell them. Like, we're getting back to the basics, I feel like, of college basketball, what it was for years.
No, yeah, and I mean, like, when you're going into March Madness, I mean, like, the madness is really just the idea that anything can happen and that any team can win. But at the end of the day, it's really just a long-winded way of getting the 1 and 2 teams to play each other in a national championship at the end of the day. And with, like, the transfer portal stuff, I mean, I think it was Coach K that was whining about it the other day. And I'm like, here's my thing. That's not going to affect you.
What's new?
Like, and the NIL, the transfer portal, that's not going to touch. It's the same thing in college football. It's not really going to do anything bad towards, like, the top-tier teams. The teams it's going to affect are the 16, 15 seed teams, these teams that barely missed out on it. Those are the teams that are going to be hurting because that's the team that has the most people that are going to want to leave and go get money or go play somewhere else to get that chance to get beyond that level. So I think it's just hilarious when like top tier coaches are just like, oh, the transfer portal's ruining football. I was like, it's not even affecting you. Like realistically, like
If anything, they're benefiting from it.
Exactly, because you're getting all these guys that are coming up. It's going to affect the middle of the pack, right below the top tier teams. Those guys are going to lose their studs, and they're going to fall off and have to rebound and try to go get somebody else. It's those guys that are going to be suffering. And so, I don't know, but like I just hate when top-tier coaches be doing that.
A couple other good games. BYU Wisconsin on Saturday night. Again, we are all the way almost to like next week. By the time this comes out, it'll be Saturday, hopefully. So, I mean, it's been a week kind of removed, but just going back to that game, BYU I picked against them in the first round. Oh shit, that's out of there, isn't it? Sorry, pause for. Oh, thank God. Saturday, yeah, Wisconsin BYU. I picked BYU to lose the first round of VCU, and they kind of just blew them out of the water. It was kind of, to me, it was like, oh, VCU is either gonna play defense and totally disrupt their shooting night, or BYU is gonna shoot the lights out. And they shot the lights out. Then they go play against Wisconsin, shoot the lights out again, but it comes down to the wire. Wisconsin was a good team. They were also a team that's going to live and die by 3. And now we have BYU playing right in front of us in the Sweet 16 against Alabama. They've been kind of a team that is interesting because they're kind of in that middle of the pack in terms of, mid-major basketball school, football school. They don't really have like one solidified.
Yeah.
But now they have a guy coming in there to their school, worth $7 million next year, the number 1 recruit in the country. You think that may affect some of these players' decisions, whether they're going to either go to the draft, go to another team, or you think a couple of them are going to want to stay to play for that?
Yeah, I mean, I think that always kind of affects things, especially if you're kind of a guy who, there's maybe a guy, I don't know too much about, the whole makeup of this team and all the players exactly, but there's always going to be that kind of factor of, I'm not going to go get picked in the first round. I'm not going to go be a superstar. And so I might as well, especially with NIL now, you can make just as much money staying in college if you want.
You can make more money if you're not going to make it to the NBA. You can make more money than sitting at a
or
corporate
even if you're
job.
going to be a second or third, round pick, you're still going to make more in college just by doing like local sponsorships with all these businesses. And so also like putting that on top of like being able to win more because you're getting the stud coming in. I mean, that's the biggest pull that you can have. And I think that's going to be able to pull people back. I think it also, just depends on people's situations and where they're at and, how they feel like their game is progressing. If they feel like if they could get one more year in college, maybe they can progress to that point to where they can get a nice little draft pick and a lot more money from that.
Caden, what do you think? If you're put in a situation, you're a guy, you're probably not going to go to the NBA after this year, but maybe there's another team might give you more money, but you have a chance, might give you more money, but they're not going to be as good as BYU next year, bringing in the number 1 recruit. Do you think you would stay for the chance of, winning a title, but you're still making decent money? Or would you just go make the money and be like, if we win, we win?
I mean, I feel like at the end of the day, you got to do what's best for you. So, I mean, I'm going to get that money.
Yeah, I don't even know why I asked this. We're broke. I'll go take the money too.
Yeah.
No, but I'm interested to see, like, BYU will be put in a weird spot because they have like 2 or 3 guys, or I think like 2 guys that are projected to be first rounders. One of them like a lottery pick. They have 2 big men. I don't know what their deal is, but I don't honestly, they're not Mormon either. I don't know how the hell they got these dudes straight out of Congo. But like, it'll be interesting to see their team next year because they have, again, the number 1 recruit coming, and they have a couple guys that I think might benefit them if they decide to stay rather than leave. Last kind of basketball game I want to talk about before, maybe like second to last, Florida UConn. I got to watch it on Sunday. I think you were golfing or struggling to live. But Florida UConn, Dan Hurley, obviously 2-time national championship, both back-to-back these past years, going against Florida, the number 1 team in the country. They look like the most talented team in the country right now, besides maybe a Duke, besides maybe Houston. They looked like a powerhouse. Walter Clayton Jr., the guard on their team, is an absolute killer. I forget where he came from. It was like a low, mid-major school at first, I think like 2 years ago, and he lost to UConn in the tournament. And now he got his revenge against them. Florida looked awesome, and Dan Hurley, kind of a crybaby in the end. I don't know what it is about him, but I think maybe it's just me. I heard also, pardon my take, guys talking about this, but a lot of people complain about, they want the coaches to be all suit and tie, and then when there is a coach that wants to speak out, the media kind of shits on him for it. But he's giving you a story to tell, As the media, like, that's your job. You should be kind of excited that there is a coach like Dan Hurley.
Yeah, no, I mean, exactly. And I think maybe there is a point there where a little bit of the thought kind of comes into his head of like, you're just sitting there. You just got kicked out in the round of 32. And you had last season that ridiculous contract from the Lakers sitting there. And you see what you could be doing right now.
He also had a ridiculous team with him last year at UConn.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's just like, I don't know. I don't think that's a whole lot because I do think he cares a lot about UConn. And that's the only reason you turn down that much money is to stay with the team that you love. But, yeah, I mean, it just happens. I mean, because they won last year.
They won the last 2 years.
Last 2 years.
They didn't lose an NCAA tournament game in, I think, the last 14 games.
Yeah, so that kind of piles onto it like you're going for like a three-peat here, and like that's a big thing. But then you got Florida, who is kind of pretty close to a blue blood basketball team. They're one of those teams in the SEC that is truly a basketball school, and that's always been to their benefit. They've always been nice. They've obviously
they
had
have the history.
Yeah, they have a history of being good. So they're just a team that if they come back into form, that's especially with like Kentucky kind of falling back just a little bit without Coach K, like
still in the Sweet 16.
No, yeah, exactly. But maybe opening that door for like more SEC teams to kind of put their foot in the door. I have Florida personally in my championship game against Houston. So I think they're going to keep going on a run, and I think they're going to keep killing it, especially when you knock out UConn. Like, even though maybe it's not exactly the same team, it's still a team that's won back-to-back. So it's going to be very impressive to see what they continue to do. And all of the SEC at this point is kind of threatening.
7 SEC teams in the Sweet 16 right now. I heard this question the other day because obviously the SEC, most of their fans are like football fans. Like, there's a couple schools like Kentucky, Arkansas. Those are like 2 schools that are like mostly basketball schools for the SEC. And there's like those Tennessees, which they're good at baseball, they're good at basketball, they're good at football, but their fan base wants them to be good at football. How many like national championships like do you think would equate? How many NCAA basketball championships do you think would equate for one college football championship in the SEC for a team like Alabama? Like, you think some of these guys are going to care? Like, I know they're probably watching some of these old heads in the backwoods of Alabama.
Yeah.
They're going to be watching these games. But like, do you think if Alabama comes out to win this NCAA championship or Auburn does, how many of those championships do you think it would actually like make them care about, or rather than winning one college football championship?
I would say, for the most part, I think it maybe differs for like a Florida because they take a lot of pride in their basketball. But like for like a Tennessee or like even like a Georgia, it would probably take like a three-peat. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, I think it would take like a historic run to make it even get close to being that like football national championship type title. Because it's like you do it the opposite way too. It's like, I would give up, the national championship in basketball every year for as many football ones as I could. Like, it's just one of those things where in the SEC, like, football really is that top sport, except for like a handful of teams. And that's where like a lot of the passion comes into it. But yeah, I mean, it would have to be a serious generational dynasty type of run for anybody to care for it as much as a college football team.
Just equate. Yeah.
Yeah.
How many? Just one, I'm guessing, for UK. No, just one of any NCAA championship would work. I mean, you guys were somewhat close this year.
Hey, we were in there,
You guys were what, in the round of 32, and you guys made it close?
Yeah, it was like a 9-point game, something like that. But hey, won. But they don't win anything ever. So
who'd you guys play in the last round?
Michigan State.
Oh, that's right. Oh, you guys lost to Tom Izzo. That's nothing to hold your head about.
Oh, I ain't holding my head about it at all.
You guys lost by 8. That's pretty good.
Oh, under 10 is very impressive to Mr. March himself.
What's up?
They're interviewing Teoscar Hernandez
During the game.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, no, I don't get why MLB. There's a lot of like things that do that now. It's usually just like all-star games though.
Yeah, I mean, this is like third inning guy on first. Like, this is what you get paid to do. Why are we on a fucking Zoom call while this is happening?
Yeah, funny thing about New Mexico. I think the last note I have about college basketball real quick is I think pretty cool note. We started off the year talking a lot about, like, right when we started off this podcast, honestly, coming up on a year ago today, by the way, pretty close. We talked a lot about Rick Pitino because one of our first episodes, if not our first episode, was Coach Cal leaving Kentucky and how big of a story that was. A lot of Rick Pitino's name came up. Obviously, a great year at St. John's after a rebuilding year last year. He came in, exceeded expectations, got them to a 2 seed. They won the Big East, got them to the round of 32, was upset by Coach Cal, which is, his arch nemesis, whether he wants to admit it or not. First, I want to say there's like an awesome job. Just winning the Big East in general, because Big East is like a basketball conference. That's nothing else. Nobody else cares about anything in the Big East than basketball. They were able to win that in his second year there. Obviously, a little disappointing losing in the round of 32, but I think it's kind of funny that now Richard Pitino, formerly the coach of New Mexico, that got only lost to 8 by Michigan State and Tom Izzo, is now heading to Xavier, also in the Big East, and now Rick Pitino gets to face his son twice a year next year, and maybe for the years to come. So I'm excited to see that storyline. There's going to be a bunch. I mean, there's already been a bunch that we'll maybe recap once the season's over, but Colorado State's coach left. Iowa fired their coach and poached someone. That's another thing about these transfer portal and NIL thing. If people are complaining about the players doing it, I think the coaches are 10 times worse.
Yeah.
They'll tell, I don't think I'm going anywhere. Or there's people that I'm talking to teams, but this is going on during the tournament.
Yeah. I mean, you had the McNeese coach. Literally, it got announced that he was leaving before the game started.
And they did go out there and win it.
They did.
That was at Will Wade. I think he beat. I forget who did McNeese beat the first round. It was Clemson.
Yes.
McNeese beat Clemson, and Will Wade, the head coach of McNeese, was an alum of Clemson, beats them, and then gets the job at NC State, which is the rival of Clemson. It's kind of a full circle thing. But, yeah, I mean, coaches are getting poached left and right. Colorado State's left to go to Minnesota. Obviously, Richard Pitino goes to Xavier. I mean, it happens every tournament. And if you're going to complain about the players doing it, I mean, yeah, the coaches are a lot worse.
Yeah.
And they're getting paid way more money. That's all I'll say. Anything else on college basketball? Do you guys have any predictions before? I don't know. I think we'll have one more episode before the national championship, but I guess any predictions now that we're down to 16, who's your winner?
I'm going to stick with my initial poll, which is Houston. I think that Houston's kind of on a roll right now. I think they're just a tough team to beat.
They're due.
They are due. And I think it's one of those things where you can look at almost every team and be like, well, that game was interesting. For Alabama, it was Robert Morris. That game was very interesting.
Auburn squeaking by.
Yeah, Houston really hasn't had a game yet that's been ooh, that was, I don't know. They've been doing what they needed to do so far.
The only one that worries me is neither is Duke.
Yeah, that's what I was just looking at.
They be beating the shit out of teams.
No, yeah. So, yeah, I think it's going to be Duke, Houston, or Florida that walks away with it, but I'm sticking with Houston.
Caden?
Yeah, I agree. I have Florida too, but their last game with UConn being squeaky, which, I mean, it's Dan Hurley and UConn, so you can kind of expect that, but Duke's been looking real nice. I mean, I think everyone knew that going in, but
didn't expect them to beat the crap out of Baylor like that.
I mean, by 30 or 20, 23?
Might as well have been 30.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm kind of worried about Duke right now, considering 4 of my worst best friends are all Duke fans, and that I'm going to have to just hear from them for absolutely no reason, even though they've been irrelevant for the last 10 years, and Coach K went out like a sad bitch. But I was listening. They said if Michigan State beats Ole Miss this weekend, and then they would go play Michigan, but if Michigan State was to make it to the Final Four, it would most likely be against Duke. We should petition for Tom Izzo. We got a petition for Coach K to come out of retirement. Yeah. Just to coach against Tom Izzo one game. Then he can go back.
He doesn't even have to be a head coach. Just be an advisor.
He just has to be there.
Yeah.
Just so we can get to him versus Tom Izzo one more time.
Be personnel advisor.
Yeah, personnel advisor. We gotta really figure out when these Final Four games are, because obviously
April 5th.
Oh, see, that worries me. January, February,
March.
Izzo. And then it gets to April. And Izzo disappears. If Michigan State's playing against Duke in April, Big Cat's been telling Izzo for years, you should probably focus on making it January, February, March Izzo rather than a month early. And he said it today. He doesn't get great graphic, by the way. This might be the first time I ask you to put a graphic on YouTube in a while. I'll find it for you. It's just Tom Izzo, and it says turned off, because he's like, I don't get turned on from national tournament wins. He's like, well, I want to win the whole damn thing. And the graphic just said turned off. But yes, I agree with you. I'm picking Houston. I am worried about Duke, and I do think Florida might worry me too, because they're just so dynamic. They can win in so many different ways. All right. We'll move on to a couple NFL news, then we'll hit the break, then we'll talk Couple things happened over the weekend, a couple funny things. One, our hero,
Yep.
Jameis Winston, goes to the New York Giants.
Yep.
Shout out Jameis. Tommy DeVito goes back to the Giants.
Yep.
And
We're gonna get there, but like, kind of funny. We were talking last episode, and the Giants had no quarterback.
Yeah.
And now they have three of the funniest possible quarterback group ever. You have the most Italian dude ever. You have the most preacher Jesus guy that actually means it, and then you have the most preacher Jesus guy who's just there. He's just there because his wife's there, which we'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, initial reactions on, I guess, Jameis first, and then we can talk about Russell Wilson. Is Jameis's, chances as being a starter, is it over for good?
I don't know. That whole organization's kind of a joke at this point. Like, what the fuck are we doing? Really? Jameis and Russell and Tommy DeVito?
And that pretty much takes out any picture of them drafting a quarterback.
Oh, yeah. And it's just so confusing to me because it's just, I think if they would have gone out and just gotten Russell, I'd be like, okay, interesting. Going out and getting Jameis as well, it almost gives the idea that you want to do a quarterback battle. And the quarterback battle
or a mega church.
or a mega church between Jameis Winston and Russell Wilson. And it's just like, dude, it's just like you pick the lesser of the two evils. I don't know what to tell you. Neither of them are going to get you where you want to go when you had a perfect opportunity to draft a quarterback in the draft. It doesn't make any sense unless they were terrified that they weren't going to get one because they have like three.
Yeah.
And then because all of a sudden the Titans are really starting to seem like they're going to go pick up a quarterback. When at first I said they shouldn't and didn't seem like they were going to. Now it seems like they are, and I think that's scaring because the Browns are next, right? The Browns are at 2.
Yeah, it should be Titans, Browns, Giants,
Patriots, I think.
Pats. Yeah, that sounds right.
But yeah, so now I guess maybe there was this fear that the Browns and the Titans were gonna go get quarterbacks, and maybe that's some inside stuff that they figured out, and they're like, just like it's like they grabbed their scout or recruiter or whatever, said, go get a quarterback. Go get 2 quarterbacks.
I'll get you 3.
I'll get you 3. One of them's in-house and 2 we got to go get. But I don't know. I think, honestly, Jameis or Russell could start. Russell will probably start. But it's just a mess.
I guess first, initial reactions on Jameis Winston, Caden. Our guy, Jameis Winston.
I mean, so he got signed first.
Yes, he got signed first.
I was excited. I thought we were going to get to see a full year of Jameis Winston, or if they drafted someone, then another backup year, which is good with me. And then they did the funniest thing they could have and got Russ, which is exactly what I wanted. I don't know who needs you next.
I was gonna say, what'd you say when they got him?
Oh, I was like, I don't even remember.
You said everybody needs a year.
Yeah, I said that last episode too. Everyone needs a year of Russ, and it's David's turn.
Thank God it wasn't one of us. So that's good. I mean, I got Daniel Jones, but shit.
I mean, I think if you know what this smells like. This smells like a 4-0, 3-0, 4-0 start for the Giants, and just all this false optimism. And then just the floor is going to fall out, and they're going to be right back here next season.
That happened the same. No, I take that. Okay, sorry to throw shade on the Broncos, but I remember when Teddy Bridgewater started that one year for the Broncos. I think
That's
they
what
were
I was thinking.
3-1.
Yeah.
I think they beat the Giants, the Jets, and the Jacksonville Jaguars, and then just had a rough year on from that. But I could totally see that happening. I don't know what their schedule is, but I'm guessing they play a couple of those 4 seeds, because they were so bad last year. But yeah, and if I was a Giants fan, just as a Colts fan, I'd be mad at the position we're in. Yeah. Because, I mean, you're going to get – I don't know. I just couldn't be happy with – we'll talk about him now. Russell Wilson. Yeah. We go to Russell Wilson. I heard that me and him kind of talked about it too, but, I mean, maybe Sierra was in his ear just like, you made me spend all these years in Seattle. I spent a couple years in Denver. Had to spend a year in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Honestly, not that bad of a place, but you know what I mean. Can we please go to New York for like 1 year? And then we kind of talked about it. Like he's the Giants quarterback now, but once he retires, which may be soon, it's kind of trending in that direction. Maybe he just makes New York his home and makes Sierra happy. I could totally see that happening. Yeah. Is this an NFL goal, or is this a future long-term life goal for Russell Wilson?
I think it's football. I mean, I think that probably has something to do with it as well. But he's been a journeyman his whole career, and I think if you could ask him and be like, how would it feel to just be a Giants quarterback for the next 3-4 years? I'm sure he would be elated to hear that and do that. Do I think that that's their plan? I don't know. I think he's a really, really solid placeholder quarterback for wanting to improve the rest of the team because he's cheap. You don't got to pay him much, and you can use that money to kind of spread around the whole team. And then when your team's ready, that's when you go and you get a rookie quarterback who can lead the team forward because the Giants are in really, really no position to make a push for anything. So I think Russell Wilson's great because he's going to give you about 8 to 9 games of really solid football, and then the rest of the season he's just going to be mediocre at best, and he's going to maybe lock you in. Like if they have him for the next 3 years, probably locks you in for a 7 to 12 pick in the draft every single year. And that's a good way to just build up your team and build up the strength and build up the depth chart. And maybe that's their goal, and I can respect that, and I think that's when you're thinking long term, which you gotta when you're not a good team. I don't know. I think it can pay off, but I think he's a really good placeholder quarterback to build the team around.
So one thing I also thought funny was, I don't know if you guys remember last year, they had the offseason Hard Knocks for the Giants. So everybody remembers the famous Saquon video, all that. They were supposed to do the offseason Hard Knocks with the Tar Heels this year with Bill Belichick, and then that got canceled. I think it was because PFT said a name on Pardon My Take, it made it graphic, and I forget what it was, but it alluded to jacking off or something in the words of Hard Knocks. So they took that away from UNC, and now I'm interested to see. We shouldn't even videotape a team. They should just do a quarterback room Hard Knocks of just them, those three. Mic up those three. Make it a reality TV show. Let them talk about whatever. We don't have to play football.
Yeah,
just let them to an Italian and
put them in a house and just
Survivor edition.
Survivor, and just lock the doors.
That's how we should have the quarterback competition.
We'll unlock it when it's practice time.
When we have content. Yeah. when our content's done. So realistically, who gives the Giants the best chance to win? Do you guys think?
Russell Wilson.
Probably. Yeah.
I think the ceiling might be Jameis Winston, but the floor might be Russell Wilson.
Yeah. Jameis, I feel like just is what's the word I'm looking for here?
Wild card.
Yeah, that, but an attitude changer. Russell, is good football. You can't deny, or better football. I won't say good, better football. But Jameis is going to give everyone motivated. It's more team building, I guess, around. Chemistry will be higher with Jameis. Ball play might be better with Russell. So it just depends on what you want.
I mean, when Jameis plays to the level that he can play at, he's better than Russell Wilson at this stage in his career.
Just rare.
It's just rare that you can get that for more than 2 games in a row.
We need the Monday night game, whatever it was, against the Broncos.
Yes, that was insane.
Didn't you guys won that game, right?
Yeah, I think barely, but helicopter
600 years.
Yeah, 500.
He's going crazy.
Yeah, no, imagine just a Jameis deep ball to Malik Neighbors, 70 yards, just in triple coverage. he just fits it in there. I think the only other news, actually, so we've been on a lull from the NFL, which has been fine. We got all that first wave of free agency done quick.
Yeah.
And then you thought, okay, maybe people are going to wait till either closer to the draft or after the draft, whenever that happens. And then 10 minutes, we got all that news. Jameis, I think, was right before the weekend started, I think on Thursday or Friday. We get back here Sunday, Monday, whenever it was Russell Wilson news. And then 10 minutes later, out of nowhere, Stephon Diggs signs with the New England Patriots. Good get for Mike Vrabel and that young core. I was just listening to the point. Do you think this is good for Drake May to get his diva wide receiver knowledge already down early, this early in his career? You're gonna have to play with some of these wide receivers. You might as well get the experience now.
Yeah, no, that could be huge. It could also ruin everything that he's built up. Stephon Diggs needs to get over himself. I mean, it's just one of those things where he's not who he was really. He's still solid, but
coming off a torn ACL too.
Yeah, you keep getting hurt. You're bouncing around teams. You're not the superstar that you think you are anymore. Just do your best to help the team. Do your best to help this young quarterback. And if they can keep building stuff around him, that team can be ridiculous, especially if they go out and get a Travis Hunter, which it's honestly starting to kind of lean in that direction.
I don't think he's going to fall to 4. I think he's going to go to the Giants now.
Yeah, I do too. But it really did. Honestly, it is nice to go into this draft because I feel like it's the first draft in 5 years where we really don't know what's going to happen in these first 5 picks. Whereas in the past, last year, we literally picked out 1 through 5 who was going to go where. And this year,
Abdul Carter can jump up in this to like 1 or 2.
Abdul Carter could go number 1 to
Yeah.
the Tennessee Titans. Travis Hunter could go 2 to the Browns, and then who knows what happens for the rest of the draft because those 2 top-tier quarterbacks are just sitting there.
And who knows? Hey, the Titans might not draft a quarterback. They just got Tim Boyle.
Oh,
I'm just kidding. Hey, Tim Boyle, friend of the show.
Tim Boyle.
Okay, sorry, go ahead.
No, but yeah, I mean, it's just like this is the first draft where we really don't know who's going to go where. And so I'm interested to kind of see how these teams play it off and, how they move forward. But if the Patriots play their cards right, they got their coach, they got their quarterback, they got their receiver. If they can get 1 more, 2 more pieces,
they got Matt Collins too. I think they brought back Mario Douglas.
Matt Collins is a great wide receiver 3.
Yeah,
He's
great
really,
wide receiver 3.
Really good there. So yeah, I think it's very interesting to see what they're gonna do here, and I'm interested to see.
Are the Patriots might be on one of our Friskometer teams this year?
They are a Friskometer.
They could be a frisky team.
I think the meter's starting to wiggle a little bit when they hear their name.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
You're starting to feel that, that like 2012,
Yeah.
like
like an earthquake.
that shimmy that Tom Brady used to give us.
Maybe that much.
Yeah, not yet. I'm not getting there yet. And then I think the last couple things for NFL that need to fall into place, obviously, until the draft, whatever, is there's 2 quarterbacks, there's 2 names still out there, and there's about 3 teams. Right now, it's the Browns. Obviously, they might look at Shador in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
It's the Steelers, who have, I think, like nobody now. I know they have DTR, and they might have somebody else that they picked up.
They
but
got a contract on the table.
on the table for Aaron Rodgers. And then there's the Minnesota Vikings, which have told J.J. McCarthy nothing, according to J.J. McCarthy. I was literally in the gym the other day, and J.J. McCarthy, the only graphic that was on the screen is J.J. McCarthy, quote, "I don't know what their plan is for me." And I was like, well, that's not good.
Yeah, not at all.
So, I mean, couple names, a couple teams left. Honestly, in my mind, the way I see this playing out is it's going to be Aaron Rodgers. He's going to have to be the first domino.
Mm-hmm.
If he signs that contract with the Steelers, he might try to go to the Vikings, the Brett Favre arc. We don't know.
Yeah, the
But-
prophecy.
But if I had to guess, I think it would be Aaron Rodgers Steelers because he's looking for that consistent, like Packers brand of football, the history, the consistency of they're in the playoffs every year. They might not be the greatest, but I think he wants to finish out his career kind of in that situation. I think Kirk Cousins might be a backup or a starter in Cleveland if they draft Shador. And I think J.J. McCarthy's going to end up with, the Vikings. But I think it's just weird because the Browns go get Kenny Pickett.
Yeah.
Now is there room for Kirk Cousins in this giant contract? Does Kirk Cousins stay with the Falcons? Just collect his money as a backup?
Yeah.
Who knows? But I think another thing I found interesting was Kirk Cousins might be waiting until after the draft because he signed that big deal with the Falcons and then, let's go draft this first-round quarterback.
Yep.
He doesn't want to see that happen again.
Yeah, I mean, I think with Kirk, you can see it in his eyes. He wants to start somewhere. Like when he talks about playing, like he is not a guy who wants to sit on the bench for the rest of his career. Like obviously, you could tell when he was on the Falcons, he wouldn't take his fucking helmet off when Michael Penix was playing. I'm like, brother, we don't need you.
It's over.
Sit down. Maybe he's not Jesus, but you're not God. So I don't know what to tell you. So I don't know, but I think you're pretty right on that. I think that Aaron Rodgers goes to the Steelers. I think the Steelers still pick up a quarterback. I think they pick up Jackson Dart in the draft.
Or Jalen Milroe.
I could see him go with Dart more. I don't know. I think Dart's a little bit more consistent. I don't think he's as good, but he's maybe a little bit more consistent.
He's white.
Come on.
I got you. I'll say it.
But, I think that they go with Dart. And then I think Shador goes second to the Browns. At this rate, I do think the Titans are going to pick a quarterback and
Cam
just
Ward.
drive Cam Ward's career into the fucking ground. It's just what's going to happen because the Titans suck and they're not going to get any better.
Keep those Nashville girls away from him.
I swear to God. Dude. And then Kirk, I think he'll go somewhere. But I think the Vikings, I don't think they want JJ. But I think they sat on their fucking hands for too long.
Yeah.
And they didn't go out and get anybody. So it's kind of, you got to play with the cards you're dealt. Like you don't have the money. You should have kept Sam Darnold if that was such a big issue for you. Sure, he didn't end the season well, but it's just like, who else are you going to fork this money to?
Yeah.
Like, it's the only person you're really paying on your team is Justin Jefferson.
Yeah. I'm interested to see what happens. Any last thoughts on the NFL, kid?
No, I don't think so.
I think Quinn Ewers should get drafted to... I just had the team in my head, and then I just forgot it. I don't know. Maybe the Cowboys. Fuck it. Why not? All right, we'll get to a break, and then we will talk MLB on the other side. Jackson's going to tell you about Verb Energy bars. After you hear him, go buy them, and then we'll see you back here.
Verb Energy bars give you that extra boost that you need in the morning. They have an assortment of different types of bars, whether it's from caffeinated bars for the morning, as well as protein bars, whether in the morning or after your workouts. My personal favorite right now is the chocolate chip banana bread. It's awesome. Helps me get through the day, through the podcast, also through the work throughout the week. So right now, if you go onto their website, use code ROCKSOLID, you can get 30% off your next order. Verb Energy is the best way to start your day. Go check them out.
All right, welcome back to the second half of the show. As we said in the beginning, today is a national holiday. It is opening day of MLB, the MLB season 2025. Which, by the way, the graphics are just getting worse and worse every year. But like we said earlier, the marketing's getting a lot better. The hype-up videos, all that, they've looked good this year.
Oh, yeah.
The opening day graphic in particular, it's getting more corporate. It's going like the Super Bowl, and I don't like it.
Minimalistic.
Yeah, like this used to be our pastime, you know? What are we doing?
Used to be a country.
I'm excited this year, obviously, because my team is the reigning World Series champs. So this is a good feeling for me. I haven't felt this way since the Nuggets 1 year ago. So this is fun. But it's really fun that opening day is kind of celebrated in a lot of different cities. I know in Cincinnati, it's actually a really big deal. Like, they give almost everybody off of work. But, like, what else are you going to do in Cincinnati, you know?
Yeah.
Might as well give them something. But, yes, it has been a great day of watching baseball, a great day of losing money, betting. I've won one bet, but I've lost every other one. But that one bet was fun.
Yep.
Shout out to Tyler O'Neill hitting his 6th straight opening day home run. Me and Caden both hit that one. So, yeah, gotta love Tyler O'Neill. Bryce Harper and him tied for the only players to have 6 home runs ever, or actively 6 opening day home runs. So, pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yankees got a win earlier. Shout out to David. He was at the game. David and family, I should say. Devin Williams almost choked it away, but win's a win. Juan Soto and the Mets lose. David wanted to make sure to tweet that out at me publicly. Doesn't affect me. Ring, nigga. Some fun games today, though, besides the Angels-White Sox. That was a shit fest. Giants-Reds was good. Braves-Padres. Do we find out who won that game?
We lost.
So Braves ended up losing. It's okay to start 0-1, but you know who's not 0-1 yet? The Colorado Rockies.
Oh, God. Perfect. Still a chance.
Still a chance to go 162-0.
Yeah.
Also, a fun fact about the Rockies. I meant to send it to you the other day, but I was about to go to bed. They just got like the number 1 draft pick that was drafted 6 years ago or something like that. He got cut from the Angels, and the Rockies just picked him up.
Oh,
so
wow.
Potential.
Hey, and you got Condon still in the minors.
I don't know how he's still in
I don't
that
either.
team.
How is he not as good as anybody else on the team? It doesn't make any
He
sense.
probably is.
He probably is. Yeah. They don't want ticket sales or something. They're still going to come to the best bar in Denver, rooftop. But yeah, we're going to go through all of the divisions in MLB. We're going to pick our winners. Maybe if we have some thoughts about some any other teams, maybe some exciting players in that division, we'll just talk about it. We're going to start in the American League East. Oh, shit. We're starting the AL East, that being the Yankees, Red Sox, Orioles, Blue Jays, and
Rays.
Tampa Bay Rays. Wander Franco not starting tomorrow against the Colorado Rockies.
Oof,
huge. Thank God, huh?
Lord.
Tell me who your winner is going to be, Jackson. Tell me why. And then if you have any interesting thoughts about any players on this, or if you're excited to see anybody, let me know.
I do think that the Yankees are going to win this division. I think that's pretty. I know it's the boring pick, but there's a team that's going to give them a run. It's probably going to be the Orioles, if I had to guess. The Sox are going to be an interesting team to watch out for this year as well. Possible Cy Young nominee, runner-up, winner coming in with Crochet. So that's going to be interesting. But I do think that the Yankees probably have the most. They have a lot of depth, which kind of helps them out, I feel like. And so I think that's going to give them the push to move forward. But if there's going to be a team that's going to mess it up, it's going to be the Orioles.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I don't know. The Orioles, I feel like the Orioles kind of had an off year last year, did they not?
Yeah, I think they
were
they
good
made
a
it
couple years
they
ago.
squeaked into the playoffs.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's hard to stay away from the Yankees at this point. They're just kind of the powerhouse over there.
I'll gladly stay away from them. I'm picking the Boston Red Sox to win the AL East this year. I think the additions of Garrett Crochet, they got Alex Bregman, got my guy Walker Buehler over there now. Alex Cora, I think, is still there. I don't think they fired him yet. I could be wrong about that. But they're still primed to win. I mean, they got Tristan Cassis. I think he's playing first now. They got a squad over there. Trevor Story's looking for a bounce back year. Former Rocky, Rockies legend. I think they just got deeper. I think with the injuries to the Yankees, that being Garrett Cole, Luis Gill, I think that was the rookie of the year last year, whatever his name was. Giancarlo Stanton starting the year with double injuries on his double elbow injuries on IL. Kind of funny. And then the Yankees did look good today, though. Carlos Rodon, he looked great. He might have been the beard. I don't know. Now that they're allowed to do that, kind of weird. But if I had to pick an order, I'd probably say the Red Sox and then the Orioles. I think the Orioles are that talented. Maybe Jackson Holiday finally gets some reps, but I mean they have Gunnar Henderson, which is the most overrated shortstop ever, by the way. But Adley Rutschman, they have some decent pitchers. They have some good prospects that they're probably going to look to bring up. Anthony Santander, I believe, left there, but if I had to pick, I think it'd be the Rockies. Almost said it. The Red Sox, and then I think the Yankees probably still make the playoffs, but I think a lot of Yankees fans are expecting a down year. But a win's a win. They're still on the path to 162-0, so shout out them there. Okay, maybe for the worst or second, or I wouldn't say worst, most boring or second most boring division in all of baseball, the AL Central. Picks and maybe why?
I'm gonna go with the Twins. I just think they've
just vibes.
That, and I watched a TikTok today that said there's 3 of their best players that had never really been able to play together, and if they can all stay healthy, they're a pretty solid team. So
trust everything you see on the internet.
Every single thing.
Okay, in your pick.
Give me Detroit. We made the playoffs last year. I mean, the Guardians made the playoffs too, but I feel like Detroit is just getting into the swing of things. The Guardians may have been like their high point last year. I think Detroit is on the up and coming.
I agree with you. I'm going to pick the Detroit Tigers. They had that run last year, obviously, to make the playoffs. They kind of showed it while we were prepping for this. But now they have Tariq Skubal. I don't know if I pronounced that right. Cy Young winner last year. He was great. I think he's going to be good again this year. They have other guys that are great with good bats. Jack Flaherty going back there from the Dodgers. Now he has some World Series experience that he can bring back to that team. And then, I'd probably pick the Guardians to be right after that. Terry Francona, their manager, left him, but I think he's on the Reds now. I could be wrong about that. But the Guardians are a really fun team to watch, though. They did lose Josh Naylor to the Diamondbacks, but, great pitching over there, too. I would have to agree with you, the Detroit Tigers. I'm excited to watch them play this year. That would be great. I don't think they've been really good since, Miguel Cabrera. So, that'd be fun to see. Let's go out west, AL West, which could be an interesting division this year. Oh, and real quick, one note about the AL Central. Fuck the White Sox for winning today.
Oh, yeah.
The one time I never bet against them last year. I was, so nice about it. I was like, if they're going to lose, I'm just going to let them lose, I don't want to put that much misery into them. I bet against them one time on opening day. And, of course, it's the damn Angels that want to lose to them. And I don't know if anybody else bet against them, but sorry, it made me very upset.
Good.
Okay, good.
I did too.
I'm glad we could all suffer together. Is what I'm saying.
Okay.
I mean, granted, it was a part of a 12-leg team.
Mine wasn't.
That was not going to hit anyway, but still.
We can blame it on them.
Yeah.
All right, we'll go out west.
Give me the Mariners. I think the Mariners are going to be pretty solid this year. I like them a lot. I like Julio Rodriguez. So.
Yeah, and Randy Rosarena is there.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's a good pick. I feel like the stupid Astros are always going to be up there, but I think I like the Mariners too.
I have an interesting take about this division. It would be crazy in my head, and this sounds absolutely insane just coming out of my mouth. The Athletics, they don't have I'm not going to pick them, but they don't have a city that I can. Sacramento Athletics, I guess, right now.
I like how it just says Athletics on here.
Yeah. I'm going to pick the Texas Rangers to win, and I think Seattle will be second. Would not be crazy to me if the Athletics finish above the Astros. I think the Astros still have the talent somewhat. They've lost Carlos Correa, Alex Bregman. Kyle Tucker went to the Cubs. I know I was missing somebody. They've lost a lot of talent over these last couple of years. Pitching as well. I know they have their ace. I forget his name. Black dude, but he's pretty good. Other than that, Josh Hader's their closer. He's been kind of rough these last couple of years. I could see them. They got Jose Altuve playing left field. What? Yeah, you know what I mean? He made a great catch today, though. Shout out to that little short motherfucker. I could totally see the Athletics making a run. They have a bunch of young guys. I forget bro's name on that team, but he's exciting. Something Walker or something. I don't know. Lawrence Butler, that's his name. He was fun to watch last year. They have Brent Rooker. They got Luis Severino. It wouldn't shock me if the no-name Athletics possibly made a little run. I don't think they're going to win the division. If I had to pick, it would be the Rangers. They get Jacob deGrom back. They get Kumar Rocker, that guy that was like the number one prospect out of Vanderbilt. They got the fucking Tommy John injury. They got some good pitchers. Nathan Eovaldi's still there. My guy Corey Seager, big head Adolis Garcia. Marcus Semien. I almost said Trevor Semien. Shout out the Broncos. They got some guys too, but yeah, Mariners as well. Mariners might have the best pitching staff in all of baseball, which is a lot coming from me because I'm a Dodgers fan. But they just don't really have the bats to me. They have a couple, which is being Rosarena and Julio Rodriguez. But other than that, they don't really move me. But if I had to pick maybe an AL team coming out, going to the World Series, 2 out of 3 choices would be in this division. It would be the Mariners and the Texas Rangers. So we'll talk about that later. But that is going to be an exciting division to me. AL East, your division. This one should be an easy pick for you, huh?
Yeah.
You guys are sitting at the bottom of the leaderboard right now.
Yeah, no, it's ugly. The Miami
Marlins want to
taking
know.
hold. I'm going to pick my boys. I think that if they can stay healthy, once we get Acuna back, if they can stay healthy, they are probably top 3.
Did he not play today?
I think he's still kind of nursing back a little bit.
Why?
I don't know.
Okay.
But I think it's one of those things where when Atlanta's fully healthy and we have our whole team ready to go, I think we have like a top 3 lineup in the MLB.
For sure.
The only problem is our relievers are baby shit. They are so ass and they suck balls and they're the worst. We have decent starting pitchers and we have all right closers, but our relievers, I mean, can't spell their own fucking name. But I was talking to you before we came in today. They're playing the Padres today, lost. But it's 3-4. We're up, and Jason Hayward subs in for Elias Diaz.
39-year-old Jason Hayward.
39-year-old Jason Hayward subs in for Elias Diaz on first, and Neris proceeds to try to pick him off twice. Which, first of all, why are you trying to pick off Jason Hayward? Doesn't make any sense to me. Also, I don't know if you know the new rules, but you can't do that again. And so he could realistically walk to second while you're still in your motion. So what happens is Ozzy Albies moves over because he's going to steal. And then what happens? Fernando Tatis hits a little dinker right to where Ozzy would have been, scoots through. Hayward goes to third, and then we proceed to throw meatballs over the plate. And they, run up the score on us. I think they scored 4 runs in that inning, and we lost 7-4. To get back to my point, I think that's going to be a real big issue for us. I honestly think if you want my true unbiased answer of who's going to win the division, it's going to be the Phillies. And it pains me to say that, but I think the Mets are a tough team. I think the Phillies are probably the best team in the division. Or I don't know. I'd say the Braves still are, but I'd say that the Phillies probably are like just a better team in a different way. I could see them winning it, but I don't know. If Atlanta stays healthy, I could see us doing it. But our pitching is such a problem that I really don't know what we're going to do here, because that's really what's so impressive or what's so important for the team. Because, I mean, if you look at the 2021 World Series team, our lineup was probably honestly worse than it is right now. We probably have a better lineup right now than we did then. But our pitching
was way better.
We had Tyler Matzik walk out and drop his nuts on the Dodgers. It's that type of thing that was happening.
That was crazy.
That was winning us games where our bats couldn't pull through because all we can fucking do is hit home runs. And if we can't hit a home run, we can't do anything. It literally felt like not a second had gone by where I'd seen. If I see the Braves are the best team in the league. I'm sure there's a stat that can prove this, and I bet they're top 3 at leaving full bases on. The amount of times I've seen the Braves walk out, load the bases up with 0 outs, and walk away with fucking nothing is honestly jarring how often they do that. Because literally it's like they walk or they hit home runs, and it's so rare that they hit a gap shot that gets a double and runs a guy home. You never see it. It's always
home runs or strikeouts.
It's always Riley, Acuna, and Ozzy Albies back-to-back home runs, and that's all of our runs. So I think if we can get into a rhythm and get our guys healthy and stick around, I think we can win it. But if we get too many injuries and our pitching can't get it together, it's going to be rough. It's probably going to go to the Phillies.
Okay.
I'm stuck. I'm not stuck. I know I'm picking, but I mean, I think it's gonna be between the Mets and Phillies. They're just the two, probably powerhouses. But I'm riding the Mets, baby. That's how much I'm riding. Pause. They got Juan Soto. I don't know how much it's gonna help them, but I don't think it's gonna hurt them. So
No, that's for sure. And great postseason run for them last year.
Yeah.
This is a tough one. Just imagine like the Marlins. If I had to pick, honestly, it would be between the Braves and the Phillies. I don't mind the Mets. I think Lindor's great. I think Pete Alonso's decent. Juan Soto's obviously a stud. Other than that, I think like their fourth best hitter might be Brandon Nimmo, and that just doesn't move me much.
Mm-hmm.
And their pitching just stinks, in my opinion. I could be wrong. I mean, what do I fucking know? But if I'm looking at the Phillies, I'm looking at Zach Wheeler, Aaron Nola as those two aces right there. And then you got that lineup with Trey Turner, Bryce Harper, Kyle Schwarber. A couple other guys are thrown in there. Oh, and then they also have that lefty that I can't hit off MLB The Show at all. I don't remember his name, but I know you know who I'm talking about. And then, if I got to go the Braves, it's kind of the same thing. You lose Max Fried, but you get Strider back.
Mm-hmm.
They have the other pitcher. I forget his last name. Starts with an S.
Chris Sale.
No, not him. Oh, yeah, Chris Sale too, but the other one. Some righty. I forget his name, but he was I think like a rookie.
Swellenbach?
Yes, Swellenbach.
Mm-hmm.
He was really good last year.
Yeah.
He was a rookie last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you got guys like that. And then you have Michael Harris. You have Austin Riley. Still have Matt Olson. I always hate whoever your catcher is. It doesn't matter who it is, Darno or the other.
Darno's not with us anymore.
Good.
And Sean Murphy, I guess, is dead.
Okay.
I don't know.
Marcell Ozuna should be in jail, but other than that, I mean, the Braves lineup is just deep. So if I had to pick between, it would be the Braves and the Phillies. But I honestly think this might come down to like 1 or 2 games before the playoffs start.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the Mets are like if it's 1 and 2 games between the Phillies and Braves, I think the Mets only might be like 3 or 4 games behind. Like I think that's how close that gap is. Like I don't think it's that far. So, and then honestly, the Nationals are kind of frisky too. They have a lot of young guys, and their pitching staff got a lot better. Did you find out if Sean Murphy's dead or not yet?
Oh, I didn't know if you actually wanted to go.
I just know he hasn't played a game in like a year.
Like almost a year, yeah.
Yeah.
And I haven't heard anything about
No.
him.
And then like I tune into fucking spring training. He's catching there. Where is he?
He not played today?
No. It was some guy I'd never heard of in my life.
I'm interested. Where'd Travis d'Arnaud go to? I know
The
this
Angels.
That's right. God, fucking Angels. Of course he did.
So did Jorge Soler.
Jorge Soler did. Tim Anderson's on the team.
Yeah.
A couple Dodgers, too.
Fractured rib
Of course.
in
jeez.
early March. Ruled out 4 to 6 weeks.
He'll be back soon.
Yeah,
Pure
almost.
Skin, glass bones.
He'll be back soon.
Yeah, he's gonna come back and he's gonna catch a ball and break his finger. And that's what's gonna happen.
Oh, he was put on the 10-day injured list on Monday. So
Good.
He'll be back next week. Good. All right, NL Central. I think this one's obviously only between like 2 or 3 teams, but there's kind of a frisky team in here. I'm interested to see. What do you guys think, Jackson?
I'm gonna go with. Give me Cincinnati.
That's the frisky team right there.
Yeah, I like the Reds. I like him to do it. Ellie De La Cruz is ridiculous. So I'm picking that because of there.
They got my boy World Series champ Gavin Lux playing left field somehow. He's a second baseman. I don't know how that happened. Caden, your pick.
bro, I don't know. This is a tough one. What was that?
I can't wait to get one of those hats when I go.
Oh, yeah, I do like that gold.
You can always pick the team on the top of your hat.
Yeah, I thought about it. I was sitting here and I was like, I can't believe I wore this hat on baseball day. Give me the Cardinals. I'm standing with my boy Arenado. I don't know if that's gonna happen, but I don't know. I have no thoughts on this.
If I had to guess, I'd think the Cardinals would finish last or second to last in this
Yeah,
division.
yeah, that's fine. Well, Nolan Arenado has something to say about that.
I think they might have won today. Yeah,
no, they haven't played yet.
I think they're playing right now, aren't they?
Might be. They just says oh no.
Oh
right
yeah,
now.
they
are.
They are up against the Twins. With
Yeah,
an inning left.
yeah. Number
Every
one
other team
in
is 0-1 or 0-2.
NL Central.
Shout out the Cardinals. If I had to pick, it would be the Brew Crew. They've just been pretty consistent. They've been in the playoffs like the last 6 years. It seems like they're just in there every year. They never do anything in the playoffs, but they're there. I do like Ella De La Cruz, though. I love the Reds. Shout out to my boy Gavin Lux. And then the Cubs, I mean, you never – it's Wrigley, you know. They have the field. They have Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
They have the vibes. They always have something. So, and then if we want to talk about the NL West, you guys want to?
No, there's no point.
Who'd you guys pick?
It's obviously the fucking Rockies.
Yeah.
The Rockies,
Let's
okay.
get that over.
I do think that the Rockies.
Who
have a
else is
solid
going to
year.
win it? The Dodgers?
I do think that the Rockies are going to have a pretty solid year this year.
I mean, compared to the last 7, I'm sure.
I think
we'll be
the
okay.
Rockies
I
are going to
don't
be
know.
frisky.
I don't.
Frisky.
No,
I
the
think so.
friskometer is actually. It actually went negative just now. The friskometer just broke. Fuck. Man,
I have one take that a lot of people that in the national media, I don't know why, they are really like, I don't know what it is about them in thinking the Padres are going to be good this year.
Yeah.
I think the Padres have taken such a step back. They lost Tanner Scott. They lost Ha-Sung Kim. They lost multiple other starting pitchers. Machado's declining in age. Tatis does steroids. Xander Bogaerts hasn't been good in years. Jackson Merrill, overrated in my opinion. I could be lying about that one, but he's actually not that bad. And then their management just sucks. Like they've just took such a step back this offseason that I don't even look at them as a threat anymore, to be honest with you. I don't know what it is. I think the Diamondbacks are probably going to finish second, and I think the Giants are going to give the Padres a run for the money. And if I wanted to get bold, the Padres get a couple injuries, Rockies might finish fourth in the division, and I'd love to see that. All right, we're going to talk award winners, NL MVP, AL MVP, NL Cy Young, AL Cy Young. We'll start with you, Jackson. We'll make it easy. AL MVP.
AL MVP.
If you want me to start, I can.
That would be great.
Yeah.
Okay. My AL MVP pick this year, I'm gonna go with Bobby Witt Jr. If the Kansas City Royals can finish just first or second in that division, I think they would have won last year. I think he would have won the MVP last year. Aaron Judge obviously had a historic season, but Bobby Witt has the speed factor. He has the stolen base factor. I think if he puts up, say, 35 and 55 season, and the Royals finish first, and may in their division, and maybe the Yankees slides in second or third in theirs, you never know if Bobby Witt can get that. And I think he's probably the best shortstop in all of baseball. So I'll go with Bobby Witt Jr. in the American League.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go with Julio Rodriguez. I like it. Young guy, loves to swing that bat. Absolute dog. Gonna have a great year.
Also the stolen base factor.
Yep. Also stolen base factor. And I
think he was the youngest player ever to go 30 and 30
really
in 1 year. Yeah.
Well, this is gonna be his year to take home the MVP.
There you go.
Took the words right out of my mouth. He's the only other person I can think of.
None of you guys picked Aaron Judge.
I was good. Okay,
The Fitzgeralds are going to be very upset about this.
My
one.
thing is, I don't know. What does he has 1 or 2?
When Mr. hit a home run, do nothing else.
2, yeah. I was going to say the season doesn't start till October for Aaron Judge.
Yeah, and I don't know. I don't know. I just don't see him getting it this year.
Just voter fatigue.
Yeah. I think he's gonna have an off year. If you want me to be honest, I think he's gonna take a dip.
What's an off year for Aaron Judge? Like 35 home runs.
Yeah, I mean he's not gonna. It's not gonna.
Is
be
he
the
gonna
same.
be interrupting our football?
No.
We're going to be able to watch college football.
Yes.
No, I like it. That's funny. All right, we'll go National League MVP. Okay,
I mean,
do we want it?
This voter fatigue doesn't count for him. I feel like. I don't
If he hits 30 home runs, no.
I'm going Ellie De La Cruz.
Oh,
Like I'm not even
Okay.
joking.
I like
Okay.
that. No, I like that.
I think that Shohei's gonna be pitching more, and I think that's gonna
Hurt him.
Might help.
I think it's just gonna knock down his stats just enough.
Let's say he has 100 strikeouts, 30 stolen bases, and 30
But
home
then-
runs.
but-
Who's
But
ever
then
done
there's-
that?
But that's also like two different. That's two different rewards. So like if he does that, that's Cy Young shit. But I don't know. I just think him not having as many at bats is going to open the door for somebody else, and I think that could happen. I mean, also what he did last year was
Amazing.
pretty hard to repeat.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's somebody who can do it, it's Shohei. But
that's true.
I think with a little bit coming off that year, it's going to be hard to repeat that, and he's going to be getting less at bats with pitching. I don't think he'll have the numbers to win the MVP. I think Ellie De La Cruz is going to have a ridiculous bag stealing year. I think he's going to hit really well. It's going to be great in the field. I think he's just going to be a dog. So I think I'm going to go Ellie De La Cruz.
Cade?
I just don't know. Like, how do you? I don't know. I don't know. He's so good. Yeah, I mean,
You say it.
Yeah, I don't want to. I really don't want to. It's going to be Mr. Otani, I think, again.
Love it. I'll go Shohei. Hot take. No. Okay, we'll go Cy Young real quick. Both AL, NL. Last year's winner for the AL was Tariq Skubal. Last year for NL was Blake Snell, I believe. I could be wrong about that.
Chris Sale.
Oh, it was
Yeah.
Chris Sale. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
It was Chris Sale. Paul Skeens, obviously, in the running.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe one of these 5 Dodgers pitchers. You never
Mhm.
know. Chris Sale again.
Mm-hmm.
Zach Wheeler, Aaron Nola, one of these guys in the NL. Who would be your NL pick?
Do we want to do both or just?
Erman. Well, we'll do AL after, but Erman Marquez for the Rockies
Mhm.
coming back off of injury. You never know.
Yeah.
We'll do National League first though.
I'm gonna go Blake Snell. I think that he's gonna have a really good year.
He's fucking shit in the bed right now.
Well, hey,
Opening-
1-0, never doesn't matter.
Opening day.
Opening day. But I think a lot of it has to do with how good the Dodgers are at hitting the ball, and I think it's going to give them a lot of freedom and a lot of chances. I mean, wins don't do much, but I think it's one of those things where it's going to
They don't hurt.
They don't hurt, and I think it's going to free him up a little bit, kind of in his head, and be able to pitch more freely. And I think that's going to let him kind of ball out a little bit this year. So I think I'm going to go Blake Snell.
I'm going Paul Skeens. Being in the running a rookie, I think that
It's impressive.
exactly gives him enough reason in that itself. And I don't see him going down any, which, I mean, unless something terrible happens, which we hope not. But, yeah I got Paul Skeens.
He looks great today too. He was throwing like 98 up top for like first pitch of the game. I was like, that's scary. If I had to go with somebody, I'm gonna pick Roki Sasaki for the Dodgers. I think what he's gonna do is gonna impress people. Just the splitter that like no one's really seen come over from Japan like that. It's gonna be kind of impressive, and I think unlike the Blake Snells of the world, Paul Skeens is kind of in this conversation too. Without me and Kane are kind of the same boat right now. Blake Snell's kind of older. You know, these pitchers that are getting to like that age, they're not like terribly old, but like the pitching old of Shohei getting his second Tommy John, Garrett Cole having to get his. Garrett Cole's a little older, but Tyler Glass now being hurt all the time. Guys like that, Aaron Nola, Zach Wheeler, they're going to be banged up for like those couple weeks.
Yeah.
I think Roki kind of Yoshi Yamamoto, I guess not a great example because last year he was banged up too, but I think Roki's just going to be consistently healthy the whole year. I don't know why I feel like that. I think he's just going to show people stuff they haven't seen before. So, yeah, give me Roki Sasaki, rookie. Yeah, that would also mean he wins Rookie of the Year, but in the National League. All right, World Series matchup and winner. Let's do it.
World Series matchup and winner. Okay.
It's the last thing.
I think it's going to be the Dodgers from the NL. I think it's going to be a lot. It's going to be a tough road, I think. I think they're going to have to run.
It's hard to repeat.
I think they're going to have to run through the Braves and the Phillies. I think the Braves are going to give them a good series, but at the end of the day,
I mean, real quick. Let's just say Braves, Phillies, Mets, Reds, Brewers, Cardinals, I guess, Padres, Diamondbacks. Those are 7 tough outs. That's not a team just to roll over.
Yeah, but I think Atlanta's going to be one of the headliner teams that the Dodgers have to go through. But like I said earlier, I don't think that the Braves have enough depth in their bullpen to deal with the Dodgers, to be fair. I think we can go a couple games with them because of our bats and against their bats, and I think we can maybe push it like 6-7. I swear to God, I didn't do that on purpose.
Judas clip farming.
But I don't think we have the depth in our bullpen to actually really like win in late games against the Dodgers, so I think we'd lose that. I think the Phillies, the Phillies have a serious problem right now is they get hot at what you would think is the perfect time.
August.
And then, I mean,
It's like the 6-7 month of the year,
like,
you know? It's like June.
But no, they run through and they do as good as they can, but they just cannot.
It's your turn.
Yeah, they just cannot keep it going. And so I think that they burn out, and I think the Dodgers just have enough bats and enough pitching to just – I think they can out-stamina everybody, and I think that's going to be the biggest part. Coming out of the AL, though, this is where everything gets tricky. Like, the NL is pretty – I feel like you kind of know. And in the AL, I feel like it is very wide open, like obviously for certain teams, but I feel like it's pretty wide open. Man, it's a toughie.
Don't let the A's get hot.
That's what I'm saying. But give me the Mariners. I think the Mariners are going to push through, and they're going to get it done. They're going to have the
Best pitching staff in the MLB.
the AL MVP on their team. They're going to be pushing through. They have great pitching staff. I think they got the power to kind of keep going. But I do think that the Dodgers probably win again. Honestly, we talked about this when they made the whole Shohei deal and all the other ones that they did was, you spend all this money, you got to win a bunch, and that's exactly what they're going to do. Baseball is very much so kind of an all over the place. You never know what you're going to get, who's going to win what. But at the end of the day, it has always kind of been like a money game, and it's been like the highest bags are going to kind of help you, and they may not win you everything, but they're going to help you.
And Yankees fans, it's not fun when the rabbit has the gun, ain't it?
But the Dodgers, I think they're just so loaded. I think that they can just outlast every team. If you want to go to Game 7 with them, whatever, 5, 7 games, who knows? I think they can outlast everybody though. So I got Dodgers versus Mariners with the Dodgers on top again.
Moose.
You know what? I'm sick of Jackson taking the words right out of my mouth. The only team I had up here, the Mariners. I feel like this is their year, and obviously, okay, the Dodgers. I mean, it's like you guys said, it's going to be a tough road. But I mean, when we're talking about arguably one of the greatest rosters ever assembled in the MLB, I think they're going to find a way to squeak it out. Even if every series they go 6-7 games, they're going to be all right. Sorry, I had some work in it.
You got it. That was perfect.
Thank you.
That's so natural.
And then I like the Mariners. I think if I want to be different,
I matched with one of those Alabama cheerleaders on Tinder. Sorry.
no, I forget what I was going to say. Let's go.
No, it was like 4 years ago.
It don't matter.
No, it was like 2 years ago. 2 years ago.
Anyway,
I'm off dating apps now.
If I want to be frisky, give me the Tigers, baby. It's going all the way.
World Series matchup right here. We're watching it.
Yeah, and look, it's a close game is all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
We got young Scooble, however the fuck you say it.
I honestly will not.
I think
I've
Scooble, but
I've heard
no
it like
idea.
10,000 times, and I would never will remember.
I think it's Scooble.
I think it's Tariq Scooble. Yeah, I think that's right.
Then I feel like Tariq Scooball also works.
Yeah.
It's Tyreek. It's called
Tyreek Scooball.
Sorry, go ahead. You can finish your thoughts.
Oh, like I said, if I want to be frisky, I think the Tigers. I just feel like they have the second best chance. I don't know.
Okay, so my pick. It's gonna get boring. Dodgers. I'll not pick the Mariners though. I will go the Boston Red Sox. I think they've been due for a while to make a run, especially in the AL. It's been kind of the Astros, Yankees, years for a while. Obviously, you throw in a couple teams like the Rangers, had their 1 year in there, a couple other teams. I would pick, as right now, the Boston Red Sox. And if I had to pick a second team, it'd be the Texas Rangers. But I'm very excited to see the AL playoffs for like the first time in a while because I feel like it's kind of, like you said earlier, wide open rather than the last, 6-7 years it's been Astros, Yankees, you know what I mean? So good. No,
yeah,
okay.
good. No, I couldn't. I didn't want to interrupt you.
But yeah, like the last couple of years, it's been Astros, Yankees. So it's finally might get to see some parity and see some different teams in the mix. And I'm hoping it's kind of like the Red Sox and the Rangers and whoever the best out of those teams now has to come to LA, and you're pretty much gonna have to win in the first 5 innings.
Yeah,
because if you're not going to beat us in the first 5 innings, I got bad news for you. We saw it last year. Our bullpen is the best in baseball. Our starting pitching it's up there. Don't get me wrong. We do have some great starters, but with health, you never know who's going to actually be there come the end of the year. But if our bullpen is there, I'm very confident. We held the Padres to like 19 to 27 scoreless innings or something like that, all with our bullpen. So I think that's going to be the difference for the Dodgers this year. Obviously, the talent's great. The names are great, but it comes down to the dogs in the bullpen, and I think we have them more than anybody else. So give me the Dodgers over the Red Sox, in quotations, or the Rangers. So that'll be my pick. Very excited for the season. I'm gonna make it to a couple games for sure.
Mm-hmm.
It's like finally back. I just kind of
Oh,
it
yeah.
kind of hasn't even sunk in
Yeah, I
yet.
know.
We've been watching like I watched a couple spring training games here, but it's actually like here. Like tomorrow, you're gonna wake up and there's gonna be a game at 1 p.m.
No, yeah, and it's great too right now because Extra Innings is doing that thing for like the first week where you can just watch it on there. That's how I was able to watch the Braves
Or
game.
if you have T-Mobile, free for the whole year.
Yeah, or
As
if
long
you
as you
have
pay your phone bills.
or if you have internet access. I'm not gonna say it.
Illegal. Pirate it. See the hat.
No, dude, there's no way I'm risking breaking the law to watch that team play. There's just no way I could feasibly work around doing that.
We're gonna try to make it out to a Rockies game, a rock solid Rocky event.
Honestly, I want to go to like a shitload this year.
Yeah.
Like I want to go to a bunch because they're so cheap.
Yeah.
And like they're so fun to go to.
Just go sit at the bar.
Exactly.
You could buy rock pile
Get out.
tickets
Get
for
out.
like
Get out.
$5. And just go sit at the rooftop.
Chaos Garden. All right. Well, yeah, we are very excited for baseball. Last thing I will say before we get out of here, a shout out. We haven't talked about women's basketball in a while. Shout out to JuJu Watkins.
Yeah.
Prayers up in the chat.
Mm-hmm. T's and P's.
Yeah, JuJu Watkins tore ACL. Very sad.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Last thing, and then we'll actually get out of here. I know you want to get out of here.
No, you're good.
Last thing, we have to talk about it. I'm sorry.
Mm.
We talked about it last week, but it just got funnier these last 3 days.
Mm.
This LeBron Stephen A. Smith
Yo.
Dude,
has gotten.
hilarious.
Okay, we'll start from I guess the very beginning. Not from that beginning, but from what we've left off on. LeBron went on Pat McAfee. First of all,
Great.
Stephen A. Smith, since we had that last podcast episode, went on a million podcasts to tell his story and say how he didn't want us to talk about it, but
Yeah.
he's going to.
Mm-hmm.
He fucking hate that. He doesn't want to talk about it, but he will. He went on a million podcasts. So LeBron did the funniest thing possible and went on Pat McAfee's show, which is pretty much Stephen A.'s new rival at ESPN.
Yeah.
And I know those two don't like each other because they've never been on the same show together besides, I think, right when Pat McAfee started ESPN.
Mm-hmm.
And LeBron seemed to just let it all fly.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck.
I'd still need to sit down and watch like the whole interview, but like I've seen clips from it, and he just seems like genuinely like he doesn't care about Stephen A. Smith at all,
Yeah.
like whatsoever.
Or the Brian Windhorses. You know how mad Skip Bayless has to be that his name hasn't got brought up one time in this.
Nope.
He's been working his whole career for LeBron just to respond to him once, and you think this would be the moment. No.
Nope.
Any thoughts on that specific interview?
Like I haven't seen the whole thing. I've seen quite a few of the clips and stuff. It's like you said though. I think he's just getting into that. I'm almost done. Like I don't know how much I have. He said I don't know how much I have in me, but who gives a fuck? Like I'm LeBron James, and I think he made it to the point where he's like I stamped my legacy, and I just don't care what anyone says. So and now he's just gonna talk his shit. Which go for it, King.
Literally.
Yeah,
I
literally.
do appreciate how he did say that. Like it had me walking up to him had nothing to do with what he was saying about my game or my kid's game, because it's like that's literally your job, and like I'm not gonna sit here and be mad about it. He was like, but you call into question other things, and it's like that's when it becomes kind of an
Now
issue.
we got an issue.
Yeah.
I just thought it was funny. I just thought we should bring it up again because, I mean, they went on this whole rant again.
Yeah.
And then LeBron posted last night, has a game winner in Indiana. One of the worst buzzer beaters ever, by the way. He literally just tapped the ball in.
Yeah.
Cool. It is funny just the timing that it happened on the day that Pat McAfee's interview got dropped.
Did you see?
And then Stephen A. says he would have went up to him and hit him. And then LeBron puts on his Instagram that great post of Stephen A. hitting the boxing. It's just great.
Yeah.
You know how many people liked
womp,
you know how many people liked that picture, dude? I was looking at people who liked it, dude. It was like, or comments too. It was like Lamar Jackson. Like, it's all these notable names, dude. Like, half the NBA is just crying, laughing at this. You know they're getting a fucking laugh out of that, dude. But yeah, no, I just thought it was funny. What you were about to say? One more.
I was going to talk about
Oh,
that.
that. And then Stephen A. had the rant today where he brought up Kobe's name, L. Stephen A. Smith. Leave him out of this. But yeah, no, I just thought it was funny. We should set up a boxing fight.
Oh
Yeah.
God.
We'll stream it.
Rough and Rowdy, Barstool Sports, Rock Solid Edition.
Yeah, so all we got to do is get in contact with LeBron James and Stephen A. Smith.
Oh, I've seen him one time.
Oh, cool.
So
we're in.
Oh,
Oh,
we've
yeah.
seen both of them before.
Yeah.
I think.
Where did we see Brown?
I've seen
I
both
haven't
of
seen
them.
Brown. I walked
seen him
past
from,
him,
like-
me and Joey both did.
Bar, like really far away.
Like up there.
If I
Like way
wanted
up
to
there.
try and tackle Stephen A,
I think you could.
could have tried.
Break him.
We were close.
Stephen A's like, what, like 50, 60?
No, I just mean like the distance we were between each other when I saw him.
Those weak-ass security guards aren't going to stop you. You could easily got through them. Swim move.
Thanks, Joey.
Um,
Appreciate that.
yeah, swim move. You play football. But no, I just thought that was funny. So, all right, well, we'll get out of here. Make sure you go follow, check out all those things above Jackson's face. Go follow our Instagrams. Yeah, we haven't plug ourselves.
Oh.
Go follow our Instagram, our Twitter. Yeah, we're gonna try to be more here now that we were on vacation, kind of. By vacation, I just mean drinking. But yeah, we're gonna try to get Mac more here because there's like more stuff coming up, especially this is
It's
the
time.
Baseball, Masters soon. NHL, NBA playoffs coming on around 420.
Then
March
football's
Madness is
right
almost
around the
over.
corner.
Draft.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna be some busy bees coming up. We're doing it for you, Scott. So
Yes, sir.
make sure you guys tune in. And yeah, we'll see you guys next week. So go tell somebody you love them. You each make their day. Peace.
Peace.